In this video, we will learn about the inspection method. From the business perspective, the inspection method are the procedures or work instructions for the lab technician, the lab analyst, for example, or the plant operator, with the instructions they need to follow to make the inspection. Let's create one as an example. Okay, let's jump into it. Logistics, quality management, quality planning, basic data, inspection method. These are the typical transactions, but this one is the one we want. It's basically to create as usual, and in one. This will be to create. Of course, we can type in directly the transaction, but this is a way of you can remember more easily probably, because we're talking about quality planning, we're talking about basic data, and of course inspection method. Let's double click here. Let's create the inspection method for plant C710. We have two choices here. If you have defined specific let's say rules or business rules to define or nomenclature, let's say, to define inspection method, like for example inspection method 001 or whatever you want to do, or for example if you define in different plants and you have inspection method per plant, you can define the plant number at the beginning, for example, something like that. Okay, so some rules you can define to get harmonized, let's say, coding for not only for inspection method but for the rest of the master data in QM and in the rest of modules as well. But anyway, the other choice is just to leave it blank, and the system will assign the next sequential number. Okay, depending of course on the range of number we have defined in configuration. We might see that in different video for specifically for configuration on an advanced course of QM. Okay, basically we will leave it blank. We will make it valid from today, but you can also assign the different validity date if you want, but let's keep it simple, and it's going to be available from today. Of course, we can use reference, so we can copy from another method, right, and just do the slight changes we need to make it more specific, for example. Okay, let's press enter here. So the first time it shows the status as being created. Of course, remember that we will need to put it as, or set it as released to be able to use it. Okay, if we just keep it on being created, cannot be used, it means that there is some extra or some additional information still needed. Okay, or of course can only be used means will not be used because there is a decision on it, or deletion flag or archive, that kind of stuff. Okay, so basically these two are the more meaningful, and basically this means it's being created, right, and this is released so we can use it. Okay, it's a short test. Let's suppose we're gonna do, to keep it simple, this time let's do the pH measurement. Let's suppose we're going to use this inspection method for a chemical. Okay, so we will need to do a pH measurement, for example, and we would like to explain how this should be done. Okay, so the next, it's a search field. The next field here is the search field. You need this just to search for this of course inspection method when you have too many, right, and there is no meaningful let's say coding here. Okay, for example, if we have created as pH measure something, it's going to be easier to see, but it's not consistent if you want to have different inspection method for the same purpose in different plants, for example, even though it is by plant specific, but the naming convention will be kind of difficult to keep in such a short characters long description field, okay, or ID field, let's call it. Okay, so basically what I mean is that you will need to put in the search field the meaningful description, right? And as usual in any other objects in SAP, we have two options to put some, let's say, extra text, right? So we have the long text option here, or we have the document, which is using basically the document management system, okay, DMS. We might see the DMS in a specific video later in this training or in another trainings. Okay, so before going to those two, let me just talk about these info fields. These info fields are just extra fields that you can use for different purposes, right? But this is not used by the system. It's not filtering. It's just keeping these values, whatever value to put here. Let's suppose this is an international, let's say, inspection method, right? Or whatever, right? So let's suppose that is that number, okay? So you can type in here the norm or whatever international institution number for this this specific method, okay? And you can use it for other purposes here, like use it only in product 1000 or 10,000, whatever, okay? So you can keep some information here that you can later can pick up. For example, if you develop a specific report, you might be able to pick up these values, right? So for you, for your company, this can be meaningful, okay? Well, let's go to the two methods we have to add more information. So the first one is the easiest one, I would say. It's just present here. The system will open the Word screen, let's say. Okay, so it will start with the short text, okay? Then we can start typing here the method itself. There is no limit on this because basically this is a Word file, right? So you can start, I don't know, picker, put the sample in it, go to the VAT meter, for example, etc. Right? So you can type in all the full instruction here if you want. You just need to go back. Text changes were applied it means that there is the data we put is inside. Okay, actually you can see now it's changed. It's not create, means that it's already there. Let me show you anyway, just to confirm. There you are. So we have exactly the same text. We can just do any modification we want here. Okay, and let's go back again. And there you are. So you have the long text here that also can be used to print out information and other things you might want to do with it. There's another way, which is basically the documents. So we can attach a document as well. Like, for example, in this case, we press Document tab. Basically, this is the DMS system. So in this case, we can use the create document. The document type is already defined, and the description we will put the method. For example, inspection method. Okay, I will use this example here I used before. Okay, inspection method. The system will open the folders here. In this case, it's opening the SAP graphic user interface here folder. So we'll pick up this just as an example. So I created a Word document with this inspection method. Okay, so put it here. So you can just pick it up. And then you need to define the storage category here, which is basically what we'll use the typical one here. This is basically to define what server this information will be kept, okay, with storage. Depending on the companies, if they have too many documents for document management system, they might need more than one server. But basically, this is just a storage category that can be linked to a different server if it's needed. Okay, but in this case, we will use just the default storage for DMS. Okay, so the record has been created, means that the document is inside, right? So we can just sub here, and there you are. You have this tick box here, means that it contains some documents internally. Okay, so we will save it, and this inspection method has been created. Let's say, okay. So we have the date. The first number here in the range, because it's, as I mentioned before, it's by location or by plant. Means it's specific for a plant. Okay, and that's it for today. Thanks. This video is over, but don't you worry, there are more videos to come. Do you want to become an SAP S for Hana QM consultant? If so, you can purchase the entire full series of videos, or you can purchase one-to-one coaching sessions with me. Thanks.